Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss with you some additional questions and answers from the chapter Drainage and Climate. So, first of all, I will discuss to you chapter number 3 Drainage. Okay? So, students, question number 1 is, what is a river drainage basin? Answer is, a river or drainage basin is an area drained by a single river system. Next question, what is watershed? Answer is, an upland or highland area that separates two drainage basin systems. Okay. Next question, which river has the largest basin in India? Answer is, river Ganga has the largest basin in India. Next question, in which two major groups Indian rivers are divided into? Answer is, the Indian rivers are divided into number 1, the Himalayan rivers, and number 2, the peninsular rivers. Okay. Question number 5, what is a perennial river? Answer number 5 is, perennial rivers have water throughout the year, and these rivers get water from rain and snow. For example, river Ganga. Question number 6, what is a gorge? Answer 6 is, a gorge is a deep, narrow channel created by a flowing river. Full stop. Question number 7, what do Himalayan rivers do in their upper course? Answer number 7 is, the Himalayan rivers perform intensive erosional activity in their upper course and carry huge loads of silt and sand. Full stop. Question number 8 is, list the factors on which the drainage pattern depend. Answer number 8 is, the slope of the land and the rock structure as well as the climatic conditions of the area are some factors on which the drainage pattern depends. Full stop. Alright. After that, question number 9 is, how is the dendritic pattern formed by the river? Answer number 9 is, the dendritic pattern is formed by the river channel when the river follows the slope of the land. Full stop. The stream with its tributaries develops a pattern that resembles the branches of a tree, so named as dendritic. Question number 10, how does a rectangular pattern of drainage develop? Answer number 10 is, rectangular pattern of drainage develops on a strongly jointed rocky terrain. Full stop. After that, question number 11 is, how does a radial pattern of drainage develop? Answer number 11 is, radial pattern develops when streams flow in different directions from a central peak or dome. Full stop. Alright. After that, question number 12 is, why are peninsular rivers called seasonal? Answer number 12 is, the peninsular rivers are called seasonal because their flow depends upon rainfall. Full stop. Even large rivers like the Narmada have less water during the dry season. Full stop. Okay. Question number 13 is, where do most of the peninsular rivers originate? Question mark. Where do they flow? Answer number 13 is, most of the peninsular rivers originate from the Western Ghats and they flow into the Bay of Bengal. Question number 14. Name 3 main Himalayan river systems. Answer number 14 is, the 3 main Himalayan river systems are the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra river system. Question number 15 is, mention any 2 features of the Himalayan rivers. So students, the 2 features of the Himalayan rivers are, number 1, the Himalayan rivers are long, and number 2, they are joined by many large and important tributaries. After that, question number 16 is, what is a river system? Answer number 16 is, a river along with its tributaries may be called a river system. Okay. Question number 17, where does the Indus river originate? Answer number 17 is, the Indus river originates in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar. Full stop. Question number 18 is, name the tributaries which join Indus river in Kashmir. Answer number 18 is, the Zaskar, the Nubra, the Hunza and the Shyok are the tributaries which join Indus river in Kashmir. Okay. After that, question number 19, which are the main tributaries of river Indus? Answer number 19 is, the Satluj, the Ravi, the Beas, the Chenab and the Jhelum are the main tributaries of river Indus. After that, question number 20 is, in which sea river Indus falls into? Answer number 20 is, river Indus flows into the Arabian Sea. Alright. After that, question number 21 is, what is the total length of river Indus? Answer is, the total length of river Indus is 2,900 kilometers. Okay. After that, question number 22 is, write the regulations mentioned in Indus Water Treaty of 1960. Answer number 22 is, according to the regulations of the Indus Water Treaty of 1960, India can use only 20% of the total water carried by the Indus river system. Full stop. Next question, question number 23 is, from which place does the river Ganga originate? Answer number 23 is, the headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, which is fed by Gangotri Glacier and joined by Alaknanda at Dev Prayag in Uttarakhand. Understood? After that, question number 24 is, name the main tributaries of river Ganga. So, answer number 24 is, the Yamuna, the Ghagra, the Gandak and the Kosi are the main tributaries of river Ganga. Full stop. And next is question number 25. From which place does Yamuna river originate? Answer number 25 is, river Yamuna originates from Yamunotri Glacier, and being a right bank tributary of Ganga river, it joins Ganga river at Allahabad. Understood? After that, question number 26 is, mention the journey river drainage of river Yamuna. Answer number 26 is, starting from the Yamunotri Glacier, it flows parallel to the Ganga and as a right bank tributary meets the Ganga at Allahabad. Alright. Next one is question number 27. Which rivers rise from Nepal Himalayas? Answer number 27 is, the Ghagra, the Gandak and the Kosi rise in the Nepal Himalayas. Full stop. Question number 28 is, mention the distinguished feature about the Ghagra, the Gandak and the Kosi river. Answer number 28 is, these rivers flood the northern plains every year. Point number 2. And this results in enriching the soil and making it suitable for intensive agriculture. Understood? After that, question number 29 is, which tributaries join Ganga from peninsular uplands? Answer number 29 is, the Chambal, the Betwa and the Son join the Ganga from the peninsular uplands. Alright. Next question is, question number 30 is, what is the main features of the tributaries of Ganga joining from the peninsula? Answer number 30 is, these tributaries arise from semi-arid areas with shorter courses and do not carry much water. Okay. After that, question number 31 is, where is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta? Answer number 31 is, the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta is in Farakha at West Bengal. Okay. After that, question number 32 is, where did Ganga river named as Meghna? Answer number 32 is, after joining Brahmaputra river, Ganga river known as Meghna. Okay. After that, question number 33 is, how is Sundarban Delta formed? So answer number 33 is, the waters of two very big rivers, that is the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, flows into the Bay of Bengal, and the delta formed by these rivers is known as Sundarban Delta. Full stop. It is the world's largest and fastest growing delta. Alright. After that, question number 34 is, how is the Sundarban Delta named? Answer number 34 is, the Sundarban Delta gets its name from the Sundri trees which grow very well in the marsh land and does not get rot in water. And question number 35 is, what is the total length of the river Ganga? Answer number 35 is, the total length of the river Ganga is over 2,500 kilometers. Alright. And students, questions and answers from chapter 3 drainage. That's all for today, and rest of the question and answer I will explain and discuss with you in my next tutorial. Alright. Now I am going to discuss questions and answers from chapter number 4, climate. Alright. So question number 1 is, what is climate? Answer number 1, climate refers to some total of weather conditions over a large area for a long period of time between 30 to 40 years. Alright. After that, question number 2 is, distinguish between climate and weather. So students, the definition of climate is, climate refers to the sum total of weather conditions and variations over a large area for a long period of time, in bracket for 30 years. And after that, the definition of weather is, weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. Alright. After that, question number 3 is, name the elements of climate and weather. Answer number 3 is, elements of weather and climate are temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity and precipitation. Okay. Question number 4 is, what is the climate of India? Answer number 4 is, India's climate is described as tropical monsoon type of climate. Okay. And question number 5 is, what does the word monsoon mean? Answer number 5, the word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word mausim, which literally means season, and it refers to the seasonal reversal in the wind direction during a year. Understood? After that, question number 6 is, what is the variation of temperature in summer in India? Answer number 6. In summer, the mercury occasionally touches 50 degrees centigrade in some parts of Rajasthan desert, whereas it may be around 20 degrees centigrade in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. Alright. After that, question number 7 is, what is the variation of temperature in winter in India? Answer number 7 is, in winter, the temperature in Dras in Jammu and Kashmir is as low as minus 45 degrees centigrade, and in Trivunanthapuram may have 22 degrees centigrade. Alright. After that, question number 8 is, what is the variation of annual precipitation in India? Answer number 8 is, the annual precipitation is over 400 centimeter in Meghalaya and less than 10 centimeters in Ladakh and western Rajasthan. Alright. Question number 9 is, in which months is the season of rainfall experienced in India? Answer number 9 is, most parts of India receive rainfall from June to September. Full stop. After that, question number 10 is, why do the coastal areas of India experience less contrast in temperature? So students, answer number 10 is, the coastal areas experience less contrast in temperature because of the influence of the sea. For example, Mumbai experience an equable or moderate climate. Alright. After that, question number 11 is, why is there decrease in rainfall from east to west in northern plains? This is the question number 11, and answer number 11 is, there is general decrease in the amount of rainfall from east to west in the northern plains as the wind have less moisture in them when they reach the western side. Okay. After that, question number 12 is, what does the term continentality mean? Answer number 12 is, as the distance from the sea increases, the moderating influence of the sea decreases and the people experience extreme weather conditions. Full stop. This is called continentality, that is very hot in summers and cold in winters. For example, in Delhi, like that. After that, question number 13 is, why does the amount of solar radiation vary with latitude? Answer number 13 is the amount of solar radiation varies with latitude because of the curvature of the earth. Full stop. The temperature decreases from the equator to the poles. Alright, and this point already I have explained with the help of diagram in my previous explanation. Alright, after that, question number 14 is, how does the temperature decrease with altitude? Answer number 14 is, the temperature of air decreases at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meter of ascent. And this is because the air density decreases with height. That is why hills are cooler in summers. Understood? After that, question number 15 is, which two factors affect the wind and pressure system of an area and how? Answer number 15 is, the latitude and the altitude of the place affect the temperature and rainfall on the area. Full stop. Question number 16 is, what are ocean currents? Question mark. Name the two types. Answer number 16 is, ocean currents are streams of water that move in the same direction throughout the year. Full stop. And the two types of ocean currents are warm currents and cold currents. Okay. After that, question number 17 is, how does the relief of an area affect the climate of a place? Answer number 17 is, the relief of a place affects. So students, the climate of a place when the high mountains act as a barriers for cold and hot winds. For example, the Himalayas, and they also affect the amount of rainfall if they are very high. Full stop. They force the wind to give heavy rain on the windward side and less rain on the leeward side. Alright students, this is answer number 17. And after that, question number 18 is, which parallel of latitude passes through the center of India? Answer number 18 is, the parallel of latitude is the Tropic of Cancer, which is passes through the center of India at 23.5 north. Okay. After that, question number 19 is, what is the influence of the division of India by the Tropic of Cancer? So students, answer number 19 is, the Tropic of Cancer divides India into the tropical zone which lies to the south India and the subtropical area which lies to the north India. Okay. and it gives India's climate a tropical and subtropical character. Understood? After that, question number 20 is, what is Coriolis force? So answer number 20 is, it is an apparent force caused by the earth rotation. Full stop. And the Coriolis force is responsible for deflecting the winds to right in the north hemisphere and towards the left in the south hemisphere due to the rotation of the earth. Okay. After that, question number 21 is, what do you know about southwestern monsoon winds? Answer number 21 is, air moves from the high pressure area over the southern Indian Ocean in a southeasterly direction and crosses the equator and gets deflected towards the right, towards the low pressure area over the Indian subcontinent, and this is known as southwestern monsoon. Okay. After that, question number 22 is, what are jet streams? Answer number 22 is, jet streams are fast flowing winds at high altitude of above 12,000 meters in the troposphere. Okay. And question number 23 is, what are subtropical westerly jet streams? Answer number 23 is, the subtropical westerly jet streams are located approximately over 27 degree to 30 degree north latitude. All right. And question number 24 is, in which parts of India the subtropical westerly jet streams blow? So students, answer number 24 is, the subtropical westerly jet streams flow south of the Himalayas all through the year except in summer, and they are responsible for the western cyclonic disturbances in the north and northwestern parts of India. All right. Finally, question number 25 is, what are tropical easterly jet streams? Answer number 25 is, an easterly jet stream known as the tropical easterly jet stream blows over peninsular India approximately at 14 degrees north during the summer months. All right, students. So all these questions from the climate is completed now, and in my next explanation I will discuss with you some more question and answers from the drainage and climate chapter. All right, student. So learn all these questions very carefully, and if you have any doubt or confusion, then contact me. All right. Thank you and have a nice day.